What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. You know, we're still doing 3 videos a week right now, so we don't want you to miss out on any of those videos. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of those. We've made it home from Lake Murray. Man, it's another great tournament on the Bass Pro Tour. So we finished up 8th place this week. I guess last week, technically. It was ended on a Sunday, so I guess that's this week. I guess technically that's this week. So we ended up 8th place on Lake Murray for Stage 3, and we're going to dive in and give you guys the juice. So if you guys aren't familiar with this, the juice is my recap video where we kind of go through, talk about the juice, the rods, reels, line, baits, patterns, all of that good juicy information is going to come out in this video right here. But real quick, this video and the entire juice series is presented by Fish USA. So they are a huge online tackle retailer. If you guys aren't familiar with Fish USA, head on over fishusa.com, check them out. They got everything you need for fishing, not just bass fishing, everything you need to catch any species in the great United States of America. They got it for you, and they'll get it to you real fast and in a hurry. So check out Fish USA if you guys haven't already, and if you need any tackle, they've got it. And there'll be direct links in the description down below to the equipment we're about to talk about here real soon. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in. Let's talk about Lake Murray. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with me and the channel, you guys know that I love Lake Murray. So I was excited to see this one on the schedule, you know, going in. Just starting the entire season, I had Lake Murray circled on the schedule. One, I knew it was going to be a big fish tournament. There's lots of big quality fish in Lake Murray. It's a perfect time of year to catch a lot of big fish. You know, we're here in early March. So it's a time of year where you're going to catch the biggest fish in the lake, and lots of them. So I knew it was going to be a great tournament. And then I absolutely love Lake Murray. It's probably my favorite tournament lake that we go to. So I was really looking forward to this one. You know, I knew going into practice that I have a little bit of history there. So I had some areas picked out that I know the fish live in, you know, whether it be a herring spawn type stuff, you know, where they're on the points chasing herring, or where the bass spawn. So I kind of used those 2 pieces of information to kind of pinpoint the locations that I wanted to look for the fish this time. You know, if you know where they spawn and you know where they feed post-spawn, they're generally going to be somewhere in that same little zone. So I spent most of my time looking for stuff in that same zone, just out a little bit deeper. And, you know, I really come up with a couple different patterns. The first would be just kind of secondary points, you know, whether it's kind of in between where I see the fish on the herring and where they're going to spawn. If there was a point in between those two, it guaranteed to have bass right there. So that was kind of the basic pattern that we were running. You know, if it had some structure or some cover on that secondary point, it made it even better, whether it be grass, rock piles, stumps, brush piles, something like that, just like a home for those fish. It made that point even better. But you could basically run that all around the lake and know that you would be putting your bait in front of bass if you fished that type of pattern. So that was number 1. And then number 2 was basically so I was using that pattern during my live scope period. And basically I was targeting those fish with, you know, a jig head minnow and a jerk bait. It's just 2 excellent baits to, you know, throw early pre-spawn type stuff. Fish are feeding in on herring or threadfin shad in Lake Murray. So I wanted baits that imitated those well. And, you know, that's what caught all of the fish in my scope periods, running that pattern. And then the secondary pattern for the rest of the day was boat docks. You know, Lake Murray is lined with boat docks. And basically I took a wacky worm, Cinco, and just skipped around the boat docks. You know, I kind of started to figure out a little bit of a pattern on what docks to look for. You know, a little bit shallower docks seem to be better to get a bite. You know, the fish were holding on most every dock, But in order to get one to bite, it seemed like the dock had to be a little bit shallower, that maybe that fish had slid up there. He was a little more aggressive, you know, a little more ready to bite if he was slid up on that shallower dock. So let's jump in, show you a few of the baits and equipment that we used. So let's be real, guys. We don't always catch them on a sponsor bait, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So the bulk of the fish I caught this week on the jig head minnow was that guy right there. That's just the 5-inch Sakamata shad. It just looks just like those herring swimming through the water. And I wanted that kind of chrome silverly color. That's the silver shiner right there. So that caught the bulk of my jig head minnow fish right there. But I did have 3 minnow rods rigged up on the deck. I had 2 of these and I had 1 different bait, and that one was, where's she at? I know the pack's right here. I rigged one up yesterday. There it is. So if I had a fish that followed it to the boat or didn't quite commit, or if I caught one out of a group of say 5 or 6 and I wanted to get another bait into him, I would throw a different bait just to show him something different. And that's this. Oh, there's only a couple left in this package. The 4-inch Yamamoto scope shad. So it's a little bit bigger than you typically see me throw in, the 4-inch size. And this is the new color, Violet Flash. So it's very silver chrome. You can see there's a little bit of purple mixed in. Hopefully you guys can see that color on the camera. Or I guess you're watching it on a screen. You're not watching it on a camera. But that Violet Flash color, it's just a little bit different alternative, you know, a little bit smaller bait. So once I caught a fish out of a group on the other bait, I would pick this guy up and just give him a quick alternative to see if, you know, you could trigger one to bite with a different bait. So that's a cool new color. That's going to be excellent color on Lake Murray in particular, you know, any herring type lake, but that color is available in the D shad. And that will be a big player here real soon. But jig head minnow got the job done for me. So I tie it onto 10-pound Seaguar Tatsu for my leader. And then the braided line is the PEX braid from Seaguar. That is the 18-pound. That's what I throw all of my spinning equipment on right there. And I absolutely love that braid to fluorocarbon. So that was the minnow setup right there. I like a shorter rod for a minnow too. So we got some exciting news coming on some rods here real soon. So we'll be able to let you guys in on something coming real soon. But I like a little bit shorter rod. So I was throwing a 6-foot 9-inch rod for my minnow, just kind of shaking him around whenever I was targeting those fish. Now, like I mentioned, the secondary pattern, the trusty old wacky worm. Look, man, he's almost rusted overnight. There's so much salt. Actually, I soaked these Senkos in a little bit of scent as well, so that could be messing up the hook there. But this is the 5-inch Yamamoto Senko. Let me give you guys the color code. It is called Mowed Grass. The number is 387. So 5-inch Senko, the Mowed Grass color. Absolutely love this color. That extremely clean water at Lake Murray. This is kind of like a dark watermelon candy-ish color. It's got purple and it looks like blue to me. It's kind of like a bluish green flake in it. Maybe it has both blue and green in there. I don't know. It's a beautiful color. I absolutely love that color for that extremely clean water like Murray has. And I was just skipping him around the boat docks. So the hook, super important. This is the Trocar TK137. It's their finesse wacky hook. Straight, you know, it's got a nice straight shank. It's got the Pro V bend in it. So that's what's really cool about this hook, is it's got the Pro V bend. This bend right here in the bend of the hook really helps keep those fish hooked once you get a bite and hook up with that fish. That bend really helps keep him locked up. Now, line, same exact setup as the minnow. 10-pound Seaguar Tatsu, 18-pound Seaguar PEX braid, and a little bit longer rod. I like a 7-foot medium for my wacky worm fishing, and that's what got the job done for us right there. So like I said, basically a 2-pronged approach. That was, you know, the baits that got it done. So, man, Lake Murray is really about to go off. So if anybody out there is thinking about taking a trip to Lake Murray, I highly suggest going within the next few weeks because it is about to get really, really good there. You know, the fish were just a little bit behind of where I like to be. You know, I really like catching them on the points, you know, chasing the herring, where you can just fish really fast and fish a bunch of different points and catch them on, you know, that bait right there, the Yamamoto D-shad. And that's actually I had him tied on. I actually caught a fish on him in practice with the new Scamper rig. So you guys seen that dropped last week, but that's the new weighted fluke hook from Core Tackle. That right there, that is going to be a huge player in the next few weeks on Lake Murray. So if you guys are watching this video and maybe you got a tournament coming up, highly suggest getting stocked up on the Scamper rigs and your D-shads, getting ready to go catch a few fish here real soon. So appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Leave me all those likes, comments, good stuff down below. We got a little bit of time at home here, so it's time to get regrouped and fishing a tournament here at home on Lake Chickamauga. So that's the next on the schedule. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned. We got all our highlight videos coming up next. So we're going to go through all the fish catches from Lake Murray and kind of walk you through all of those. So that'll be coming up here real soon. But till then, we'll see you guys next time.